Okay, we are live. I think we're live. Yes, we're live. All right, I'm Brent Leary. Don't expect to hear I'm Paul Greenberg because he's, having fun. Not that this isn't fun or not, but he's out having fun. But in the meantime, since we got some really good feedback from yesterday's watch party, we thought it'd be a good idea to have like a impromptu pop-up watch party. That's a lot to say, but we're back. We're back for the second keynote. I'm not just saying I'm back. I'm saying we because Rebecca is back. Hey, Rebecca.
What song do you want to hear today, Brent?
Wow, I forgot. I should have been ready for that question. I think the feedback that we did get was mostly about that part of the intro to our beginning of the watch party yesterday. But we're back. You know what, Rebecca? I just had this really good meeting with Jack Nichols over at Genesis, and you know what he said? He said,
No, what did he say?
he said, we really enjoyed watching the keynote yesterday with you guys. I was like, what? Really? What? He's
Well,
like,
he aimed to please, Jack.
he was like, yeah, we actually were taking notes. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool. So why not try it again? We'll see what happens today. It's a new day, a new keynote. And unfortunately, Rebecca had to leave yesterday before she could give her like final take on the opening keynote. So we have a few minutes. Rebecca, what did you think of yesterday's keynote?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great energy, a lot of great things to share. I would have loved to hear more from customers on the CRM side, but I thought it was really interesting, the bill going after CRM. And in the meeting we had with him later in the day after the keynote, he sort of walked that back a little bit and said, we're not looking to replace Salesforce. We're not going to have any of this kind of locker room talk about other vendor bashing. So a little bit more bravado on the main stage. He definitely walked it back with us, but I think it'll be really interesting to see how customers interpret that and how they take it home.
Yeah, I think regardless of we get a lot of these things, and a lot of that same sentiment is said on some of these keynotes at other conferences. But I think their customers would rather hear a little bit more about how do they work together, because there's no one customer is going to have one vendor do everything they need for them. I think, and this isn't just about what's going on here. I think it would be great for customers to hear how all these tech companies that they really do depend on, how they plan on working together, across functions and things like that, because they're not going to rip out and replace everything just for one vendor. I think all the vendors would get a lot out of it if they focus a little bit more on how their agents will work together with agents that aren't theirs. And I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why the Fabric announcement is so important, but
Yeah.
also it was great to see Jennifer from UKG on stage talking about, they have a huge UKG made a huge investment in AI. They've got their own AI technology, but having her come on to talk about how they're working with ServiceNow really is about helping their customers take advantage of technology across the entire portfolio.
Yeah, so I'm all for that. And of course, there's some great. We kind of had to miss some of the discussion with Jensen Wang, but we caught. Well, so I think we did. You might have left by then, but there's some really good things that he said that I think, wow, that would have been good to be up front, closer to the beginning than the end. But we'll see what we got today. I think this is going to be more nuts and bolts here about some of the product and how they work, and I'm guessing we're going to see even more demos than we saw yesterday. So
Yeah, I think it's great how they're doing the pre-show from the expo floor too.
it looks great.
It does.
They're doing the walk and talk. I mean, that takes a certain skill set that I haven't really gotten to yet. But it's really cool to see. I was just down there in the exhibition hall, and it's really a well designed. It looks great. Lots of like energy down there. Eh, I'm impressed with just that aspect of this thing.
A lot of partners down there too. I mean, it seems like there are a lot more partners down there than even there were last year.
Well, I think there's just generally a lot more people than there were last year. If they're
Yeah.
saying 25,000 folks are here, which is pretty incredible.
Mhm.
So we'll see what I'm really interested to see how this one goes. We'll see. We'll see if it picks up on some of the themes that we kind of talked about yesterday. Being able to focus a little bit more on some aspects. I like the CRM. I would love to see a little bit more of that, considering the messaging change is pretty significant when you think about it.
Mhm. Did you have a chance to look at any of the ServiceNow University stuff? They have
No,
a
I
really
didn't.
they have a really interesting sort of interactive experience where you can go down there and create your profile, talk about what kind of job you want to have in the future, and then it sort of creates a personalized learning journey for you. I think what they've done with university really takes it where it should be going, right? Which is give me an AI coach that helps me understand based on what are the job opportunities in the ecosystem, what skills I have, what adjacent skills I need to build, and then how that sort of sets me up for career growth. I think that kind of personalized stuff is going to be really, really important for their audience, particularly as folks start to think about if I'm automating a lot of my existing work with Assist, what other things do I need to learn to be even more valuable to my organization?
I thought you were going to say an Idris was down there and you were able to get a picture with him or something like that.
No, I did hear that there's dog swag in the store. And I'm just saying, normally Patrick doesn't pay for his swag. So just if anybody's listening, word to the wise.
What's Patrick's size? No. All right. It looks like I see the double screen. It looks like maybe we're getting ready to go to the keynote, but we'll wait until we see that screen go to full size there. Although I do like the idea of the pre-event show. I think they, I think they might have got a little something from NVIDIA, because NVIDIA actually had those podcast folks, what is it, Acquired Podcast, hosting the pre-show. These guys actually had them as part of the keynote
Actual show,
when Bill McDermott invited Jensen on. So I'm seeing some similarities, and I think they're good. I mean, it kind of shows they're partners in a lot of different ways and aspects, including the look and feel of their event. All right, now I see something. I want to check in and put the audio on, because I see some stuff going on that other screen. So let me see what we're gonna hear.
Posted a photo of me in Vegas, and I posted and I said, guess where I am, guess why I'm here.
Yeah.
2 people took that photo, uploaded it to an AI system, and said, go online, figure out why is Allie Miller, in this exact location.
Yeah.
No details provided.
Yeah.
And guess what happened? ChatGPT goes online, figures out what's happening in Vegas, figures out that knowledge is here, and it predicted that we're all here at KnowledgeCon.
So
Can't
even
wait.
AI knows that knowledge is the
Oh,
place
I like
to
the
be.
countdown,
That's pretty
too.
good. Okay, well, the keynote's about to start now. You're going to hear some amazing announcements. So please enjoy the show, and we'll be back with you after.
But what turns that potential into power? Combine AI with data and workflows on one unified platform. That's not just innovation, it's transformation. But don't take our word for it.
The fact that we now have end-to-end data through ServiceNow across our enterprise allows us to take advantage of that promise of AI.
There's a million ways to come up with solutions.
For example,
when you let AI examine your data, you will discover there are ways of operating the business that you would not have imagined.
Where we've deployed automation, resolution times have gone from 4.7 hours to under 1 minute.
impressive.
Our employees are empowered when they are able to
do self-service,
be connected,
integrate applications and processes
On a single unified platform.
It makes their life a lot easier.
All hail the data.
we've just scratched the surface.
The data we're now getting from the platform is something we've never had.
We're no longer reactive,
We're able to make data-driven decisions.
and with AI, now we're predictive.
If you could think of something, you could likely do it on the platform.
You could indeed.
In the AI age, ServiceNow gives us the platform to continue our transformation.
AI plus data plus workflows. And now you know. AI is only as powerful as the platform it's on.
ServiceNow.
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 The ServiceNow AI platform. Impressive, indeed.
Please welcome President, Chief Product Officer, and Chief Operating Officer, ServiceNow, Amit Zavery.
Hey, so I just love that screen.
Good morning,
It's
everyone.
so good looking.
How are you all doing? All right. So I hope you all enjoyed day one of Knowledge 25 and are excited for what's ahead today. Yesterday, Bill inspired us all, laying out a bold vision for putting AI to work for people. And we unveiled groundbreaking innovations like ServiceNow AI Platform, AI Control Tower, AI Agent Fabric, and CRM. And today, we have more exciting news. What we are sharing over the next hour isn't just exciting, it's setting the stage for an even more powerful future. Our customers, partners, and product leaders will show you how data and workflows, it is just a vision, it's happening now. But first, I want to spend a moment on where many businesses stand with AI adoption. Our latest AI Maturity Index survey of thousands of companies shows that enterprise AI maturity has fallen 9 points year over year. Now think about that for a moment. AI technology is advancing faster than ever, businesses are investing more than ever, and yet the results are often underwhelming. So what's going on? AI is more than a tool for transformation. It's a force reshaping how enterprises think, operate, and compete. But it also highlights the foundational challenges that need to be solved before you can truly benefit from AI. Too many companies are stuck with disconnected legacy systems, siloed data from an ecosystem of vendors. And despite the explosion of AI tools, many companies are still missing something crucial: orchestration. AI agents are popping up everywhere, but they are not working together. Workflows are still largely manual or only partially automated. And that disconnect is what's holding businesses back from realizing AI's full potential. So what's truly needed is a single open platform, a platform that can seamlessly connect any AI model, any AI agent, any data, any system, any workflow. But here's the good news, though. Not every company is falling behind. There is a standout group of enterprises called pace setters who are experiencing extraordinary success with AI. So now what sets them apart? Our research shows they have a unified AI platform. They orchestrate AI agents effectively and seamlessly across functions. And get this, they are 4 times more likely to create innovative AI-powered workflows that drive tangible outcomes.
I wonder if when he says cross functions,
ServiceNow
does
is
that
uniquely
also mean
positioned to
cross
help you join the
vendor
pace setters
agents?
because our platform brings together AI, data, and workflows. And that's why 85% of Fortune 500 have turned to ServiceNow. And to rise above the chaos, connect the unconnected, automate the mundane, and modernize the legacy approaches. And we're taking it to the next level with intelligently orchestrated agentic AI. We also enable development teams to scale by driving software development processes and end-user experiences with AI agents and creator workflows. But don't take my word for it. Now let's look at what some of our customers, all winners of our new AI Pacesetter Awards, are achieving on our platform. Canada Life leveraged our AI-powered catalog builder and creator assist to automate their self-service management process. And the result, they reduced catalog creation development time by 200%. Lloyds Bank transformed HR and workplace services with Now Assist and our Gen AI virtual agent. And by deflecting up to 90% of HR-related cases automatically, They have saved their teams over 4,000 workdays, making life easier for employees and getting work done faster. And Orica transformed their IT service desk experience with Virtual Agent. Now they boosted their deflection rate from 18 to
None of these examples
94%,
are particularly
and
cross-functional.
doubled the number
I was
of
getting ready to
cases
say there.
that
I
fully
haven't seen an
resolved,
end-to-end yet.
no human
I've seen,
involvement needed.
one
this is no
functional
accident.
area, one kind of.
It's the power of AI, data,
I mean, it
and
may be
workflows
pulling
coming
data from
together
different applications,
on one
but
open platform. And we are
It's
just
not
getting
what I would
started,
consider to be end-to-end.
delivering
What's the
breakthrough
other term
innovations
forward to
directly to you.
backward?
We are doing so with powerful ecosystem of strategic partners, and you'll hear from some of them today. They play a pivotal role in helping ServiceNow embed AI into every corner of your business. And to kick things off, I'm excited to share a message from one of our key partners, Thomas Kurian, CEO of Google Cloud.
Hello, everyone. I'm Thomas Kurian, CEO of Google Cloud. I'm thrilled to be with you today at Knowledge 25. We're in the midst of an incredibly exciting time where enterprise technology is being redefined by AI. Google Cloud and ServiceNow are at the forefront of the shift, and we share a vision for agentic AI that works across platforms to deliver more value for each and every one of our customers. One of the most exciting ways this comes to life is our work to enable agent-to-agent interoperability. Today, most AI agents operate in silos that are built for single tasks and confined to one system of record. This limits productivity. That's why we were the first hyperscaler to unveil an open agent-to-agent protocol that enables secure communication between agents and across platforms and services. Our A2A framework will unlock significant value for customers across many enterprise applications, including ServiceNow. We're also proud to be one of ServiceNow's first partners to integrate into ServiceNow's AI Agent Fabric, allowing organizations to collaborate across models, agents, platforms, and systems. Now our joint customers can benefit from AI agents communicating and working with each other at scale. Google Cloud and ServiceNow have a rich history of working together to ensure that the best of Google Cloud is fully integrated into the ServiceNow platform, including bringing ServiceNow onto the Google Cloud Marketplace, combining ServiceNow's workflow data fabric into Google BigQuery, and integrating ServiceNow CRM and Customer Engagement Suite with Google AI. We're super excited about the work we're doing with the ServiceNow team to break down silos and make sure every organization can get the most out of AI. Thank you, ServiceNow, for the great partnership.
That was interesting.
Thank you, Thomas and Google Cloud, for your partnership as well. So now you will hear from John Sigler and Joe Davis, leaders in our product and engineering team, showcasing the latest ServiceNow AI platform innovations. All right.
Good job. Good morning. Thank you, Amit. My name is John Sigler. I'm here with Joe Davis, who is the Executive Vice President of Engineering for Platform and AI. And we are here to introduce you to AI agents. They are here, they are hard at work, and they're hard at work on the AI platform. When you think about the platform, there are three things today to think about. First is AI. The AI is built into the platform, so it's exposed to all of our services and all of our products. And to feed that AI, we need data, and that data comes from ServiceNow, and it comes from other sources through Workflow Data Fabric. And on top of that, we are a workflow platform. We are a platform of automation, a platform of action. And we have been very hard at work delivering AI features over the last couple of months. We've seen an explosion of AI agents in our ecosystem and in our products. We've delivered AI Agent Studio that makes it super easy for you to build and deploy agents. And those agents are powered by our fabric, and that fabric gives them the tools they need to do their job, as well as to allow them to talk to other systems, even other agentic systems. And the real magic of our platform and our AI platform is orchestration. And really, it's the autonomous orchestration of those AI agents that can happen 24/7. And on top of that, we delivered AI Control Tower to help you manage and govern all of this AI. But what we want to do today is we want to really see these agents in action. And Joe, I believe we're going to see a real-time live demo of these agents.
That's right, John. All right, so let's come to this workstation here. So we have a contract renewal issue here. There's a supplier contract that's expiring in 30 days. And this is a typical business process that might involve multiple departments that have to analyze, research, and take action to resolve this business process, and that can take days or weeks. We're gonna watch this happen using autonomous agentic AI. We're gonna compress that time down to minutes and watch this happen in real time. So for that, I'm gonna take you behind the scenes into our developer playground. This is an experience that developers can use to actually visualize the AI so you can watch it autonomously reason, research, and take action. And there's a few things that you're gonna see kind of going on here, so I'm gonna highlight a few of them while this is running. In the middle, you see the AI agent orchestrator, and this is bringing in specialized agents and calling the tools that those agents have access to. This is the workhorse of this overall process. It's gonna keep changing until it resolves this issue. On the right-hand side, you see these decision logs, and if I open one of these up, this is exposing the thought process or the thinking of the AI. So it explains the actions that it's taking. And on the left-hand side, you see the typical conversational experience, but this is exposing the research and analysis that each of the agents is taking. And I'm just gonna talk about a couple here. The first one is the IT agent. It analyzed ticket history and SLA breaches for this supplier. We also see a finance agent. It looked up payment history in a third-party ERP system and also looked at payment breaches. And then finally here you see a legal agent. And this looked at contract renewal clauses and did some web searches on recent news for the supplier. One last thing I want to highlight, if I just come to the middle here, you see that we invoked a Microsoft agent. So our AI agent orchestrator not only calls agents in ServiceNow, but we support communication with any other enterprise agentic ecosystem. In this case, it's Microsoft. And so we're done. It produced a research report. You can see that here. And the risk level was low. So what we actually did here was we automatically approved and resolved that contract renewal issue. And then we provided that research report right here. And so what you just saw there was agentic autonomous AI compressing a complex business process down to minutes.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that was actually glad that they finally demoed something that had more.
That's fantastic. We saw orchestration across the agents and sort of a behind-the-scenes look at what those agents do and how they do it and the tools that are made available to them so that they can execute. But as we said at the beginning, it's very, very important for everyone to be able to build these AI agents. So I was wondering if you could show us just how easy it is to create an AI agent on our platform.
Okay, I'm an engineer. I'm pretty excited about what we're going to show you. Hopefully it connects with everyone here. So I'm going to build a research and development agent. We're going to do that in real time here. And then I'm going to ask that R&D agent to look at my project, the source code in my project, find security vulnerabilities, and fix those for me. And we're going to try to do that in about a minute here. So the first thing I want to point out is we're in our AI agent studio, and we're looking at an agent. This is the basics of an R&D agent here. And you can see it's low code. You provide instructions using natural language, and you give the agent access to a set of tools. We've already preloaded tools to connect to GitHub. That's where my source code of my project lives. And we also give you the ability using our AI agent fabric to connect to tools inside of ServiceNow and to third-party systems. And in this case, I'm going to use the Model Context Protocol, MCP, and I'm going to add the ability for this agent to search the web. And what that's going to do is basically create an AI developer for me. And this agent now, I'm going to go ahead and save this. It can write code, it can do research on the web, and it can automate actions against GitHub. It's pretty powerful. So let's use it. And I'm going to jump to our Now Assist experience where we're actually going to invoke that agent. And I have an interesting prompt here. I'm going to describe what it's doing after I start running it, because it takes a few seconds to run. So if you look at what I just asked it to do, I asked Now Assist to look at the source code of my project, identify security vulnerabilities in that code, use the web search tool that we just added to research how to fix those security issues that it just found, and then finally write code, check that into my project, and then have that ready for me to just deploy, basically. One thing I want to call out, you're seeing our Now Assist experience here. We've really refreshed the user experience. And you see a really nice summary of the completed tasks. This is agentic. There are multiple different steps.
Ron, I think for all of the vendors moving forward, these agents start to look pretty similar, explaining how they differentiate their
first thing is,
either from a time to value
issues in my project, and you can
or
see
an
this happening
ongoing
just now.
support perspective,
So
or
I
in
found those
case
3 security
ServiceNow
issues,
really showing that
and if I jump
end-to-end
to the code
stuff
change
is
that I
going to be
made,
really important.
I'll pull it up
Absolutely. I don't. By the way, does this sound better? By the way,
Yes, much better.
Here we go.
I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I think that's what people are really interested in.
And there's the and so it
Of course,
wrote the code to fix this. And
their
look, I
vendor
think
agents
ultimately
are great.
what we're trying to show
Yeah.
here
Once
is
again,
the
end-to-end
autonomous
means
agentic AI can
multi-vendor.
take action on your behalf.
Really great to see.
It works 24/7, and it can
Yeah.
really drive exponential productivity for developers that are working on projects like this.
It's awesome. You nailed it. Good job.
Thanks.
So what we saw there was orchestration across the agents. We saw Joe creating a new agent and getting value from that agent very, very quickly. And what that adds up to is tasks that took human beings weeks or days can now be done in minutes and seconds. And we can no longer think about the AI tools as just tools, because what they really are
You want to see
is a
some
workforce.
sales
They're a
and
new
marketing
digital
focused stuff
workforce.
too, because
And
you're a
ServiceNow is in a
CRM
great
company.
spot
You kind
to
of have to show
provide the
that part of it as
management
well.
of that new workforce with the AI control tower, where you can manage
The other thing I
and
think
govern and secure
we
and
really need to
onboard and
talk
offboard and
about
update
is
all of your AI agents,
if
as
you're
well as all of
automating
your
all
digital
of this
AI
stuff, what is
assets
the
across the
platform
enterprise.
owners or the
Not only
platform
that,
champions
the
job?
control tower shows you the productivity
What's
hours that you're
the
being
path to
saved.
greater value for you? How do you
You
not
can look
work
at
yourself out of a
you
job
can see things
with
like,
AI?
Yeah.
how are my AI
Yeah, I think
agents
You've got to
being
figure a
used
lot of the
across
kind of
departments?
traditional ITSM
You can see
audience
them
has
by
got to
what
be confused
LLMs they
about.
use. You can even drill down
Yeah,
into a
you got to be
single
able to
AI
show
agent to see
where
the
you're not
tasks
being
that it's
replaced. You're being,
providing and the benefits that
I
you're
don't want to
getting
say
from that
enhanced, but
agent.
you're
Now, what does
giving,
this
you're
all
being able to
mean? When you
do
add all
more,
this up,
with
what you
this,
get
as opposed to being completely
is true
overtaken by this.
AI orchestration.
Yeah, and that's like, I
at
had a meeting with
scale.
the impact folks this
It's
morning,
an
and that's where
AI-driven enterprise.
helping the
And guess what?
platform
That
champion
enterprise is
show the
driven
value
by
of
the
what they're doing,
ServiceNow
show the
AI
value of what they're
platform.
delivering, show the
And with
value
that, I'd like to
they're
thank you and bring
increasing,
out Gaurav
rather than
Ravari.
just
Thank you.
automating work. Like it's going to be super
Yeah, a lot of it right now, I think, I guess like every technology that gets introduced, it's always focused on reducing costs and increasing productivity.
shared a whole new
But
world.
where does it
One
go
where
beyond
humans
just
and
that to
machines team
actually
up to
doing new
redefine work
things,
and
which
accelerate
requires
business
people to be there?
transformation.
Yeah.
However, the grim reality is that for a lot of enterprises, that journey to an agentic AI heaven goes through a data hell. Here's the uncomfortable truth. AI agents
He's
are
going to give us
quantity
Dante's
soft
7
are
layers
only
of.
as powerful as your data.
Notice how it got
According
dark
to
behind
Gartner,
them.
through 2026,
Wow, yeah.
60% of AI projects will be abandoned due to a lack of AI-ready
Is
data.
that about the same as
Good
any
news is that ServiceNow
IT
offers
project,
solutions to
regardless of its
accelerate
AI
your
or not?
path to an
Is the
AI-ready data estate.
isn't it kind of
And we've
at the
identified
peril of
3
incomplete
requirements
data?
to get there.
Oh, that's an
First,
interesting question.
there'll be a lot more AI agents doing a lot more work, 24/7, 365 days a year. And because AI agents will support increasingly more cognitive tasks, these workflows will be richer, more complex, and more intelligent than ever before. So we need an AI-ready data infrastructure today that can scale to not to millions, but to billions of complex transactions and support both operational and analytical workloads. Where the same database helps AI agents generate insights and take action, all in real time, and all with the security and governance that IT demands. And that AI-ready database is RaptorDB. It's available in 2 versions, Standard and Pro. Standard is included for every customer and supports all the core data operations that power intelligent workflows on the ServiceNow AI platform. And RaptorDB Pro adds a vast array of advanced capabilities like
I don't know much about
indexes,
RaptorDB.
parallel
Is this
processing,
more of a
giving
vector
you
database or is it
unprecedented
more of a relational
scalability
database?
and performance. And thanks to RaptorDB Pro, you can now drill down to an unlimited number of dimensions in our platform analytics product.
I think it's more vector, but I'm not 100% certain.
For example, you can ask how many incidents were resolved last Tuesday, group them by priority, and then for the priority ones, show me their category and state, and oh, tell me, who are the last 3 people who worked on them? It's analytics at the speed of thought. Next, let's discuss the second essential ingredient, unified enterprise data. To get the most from AI agents, to have them think and act on your behalf, we must enable them to learn what they need to learn so that they can do what we want them to do. They need seamless access to enterprise data wherever to understand what that data means. That's why we built Workflow Data Fabric, ServiceNow's data integration and semantic layer that connects all your data to drive intelligent workflows and agentic AI. With Workflow Data Fabric, data can be structured or unstructured, static or streaming, internal or external, copied into ServiceNow or left in place in your data lake, data warehouse, or data fabric using our zero-copy connectors.
So is this
when the data stays in place, it still gets described in RaptorDB, allowing us to preserve the power of ServiceNow's single data model. And what that means is that you can treat a vast, checkered data landscape as if it were one. But you know, what truly makes our fabric unique is that it goes beyond just data integration. It is designed to spring into action
Oracle is on there.
and not just give you, ivory tower insights that sit in a lonely dashboard somewhere. It is designed for insight to action workflows. That's why we put workflow in our fabric's name. For too long, the worlds of insight and actions have gone their separate ways, like ships crossing in the night. And nobody is better placed to bring together these worlds, the analytical and the operational worlds, and ServiceNow. The vision of Data Fabric is to power countless insight to action use cases across the entire enterprise, armed with intelligence from every source and AI agents for every task. And to make that vision a reality, we are now scaling the reach of our fabric with a new workflow data network, so that all these magical moments of insight to action can truly happen everywhere, all the time. This ecosystem of 100+ integrations includes all the leading data platforms, applications, and open source tools that you can possibly think of. With Workflow Data Network, we're bringing the power of these insight capabilities right to your doorstep by integrating with the data platforms that you already have. So let's hear from a few of our partners.
Every modern business is a data business.
Your data is your differentiator, and your trusted AI requires data that's accurate, governed, and of course, accessible. This is especially true given autonomous agentic AI.
Agentic AI is like nothing we've seen in our generation. The impact it's having on enterprise business processes is unmatched.
Truly autonomous agentic AI depends on access to the right data and the ability to act on it.
We at Cloudera are excited about being part of the ServiceNow Workflow Data Network because together with ServiceNow,
we can power autonomous operations at scale.
ServiceNow's AI-first platform is the nervous system of the enterprise,
connecting every part of the business and taking action to execute tasks, send alerts,
and trigger workflows. ServiceNow's zero data copy further enriches workflows with contextual data from Amazon Redshift, making your AI agents smarter and faster.
There's almost no limit to what this delivers for customers.
Imagine agents predicting supply chain disruptions, then automatically rerouting shipments or adjusting stock levels to prevent
Always
delays.
looking at how these
Imagine
videos
agents
are coming
flagging a set
together.
of customers
And
likely to churn.
this is a
and
really
immediately
well
kicking off
edited.
a
You can
culmination
tell
of
they're using
preventative
some sort of
actions.
green screen. But it looks
Imagine
really
being
good.
able to spot a
Everybody
dip
has
in
their
customer
own
satisfaction
unique
across
background.
regions with
They
agents
sound good.
proactively
The
tackling
cuts, the
retention
edits are
workflows.
really sharp.
These
and
use
crisp.
Yeah.
cases are
Really
what
well
can
done.
happen
Super
when
well done.
real-time
Yeah.
analytics from Cloudera meet workflow intelligence from ServiceNow.
When trusted data meets intelligent workflows, AI comes to life.
I'm
With
saying this
smarter
is another
data and
Colin
smarter
Fleming
workflows, ServiceNow
influence,
and
'cause
Snowflake
this
are
really does look
delivering
like something that
AI-powered
might have
insights
been on
that
a
deliver
TV.
real-world results.
When insight meets action, transformation happens. That's the power of Teradata and ServiceNow.
Yeah, that was well done.
Mm-hmm.
So you just heard from Snowflake, Teradata, AWS, and Cloudera. And we have similar partnerships with Databricks, Google Cloud, Microsoft, Oracle, and many, many more. So that brings us to the third requirement for AI-ready data. Over and over, customers tell us that they need to reduce data silos and gain greater visibility and control to ensure trust in their data. Because you know, the success of AI agents, right, hinges not just on the quantity of data accessed, but also its quality. That's why we're going beyond integrating data to infusing it with a layer of meaning to help you manage, harmonize, and govern data at scale. And look, we've long managed your IT assets. We will now manage your data assets too. Our first entry into this space will be a powerful data catalog and data governance product. So I thought, why not just share the news here with just a few close friends? I'm proud to announce that ServiceNow has announced our intent to acquire Data.World, a leader in data cataloging and governance, backed by a robust knowledge graph, a core
You guys are on a
architectural
buying
principle
streak.
of ServiceNow. Data.World already serves some of the most recognized and respected companies in the world. So stay tuned for more once the transaction closes later this summer. So there you have it. A blazing fast database for operational and analytical workloads. A fabric that makes integrating your data easy and integrates with the data assets that you already have. A new data catalog and data governance product so you can move fast with confidence. 3 powerful ways we will partner with you to help you get your data ready and your company AI ready for the profound business transformation that lies ahead. Thank you, and over to you, Pablo.
Yeah, he was good.
Really good. Yeah, I think he and Amit go way back, right?
Oh, they do?
I think so.
As a technologist, I'm proud to be here with you today because we're not just witnessing a technology revolution. Together, we're leading it. And it starts by putting AI to work for people.
There you
In
go.
IT,
Maybe this is where. Yeah.
That means not focusing on tickets or those big major incident bridges or the stress of service delivery. It means elevating work, taking the stress out, restoring time, letting technologists focus on technology, letting technologists innovate. We see this world as one where you're driving towards zero-touch IT support as AI agents are helping handle and deflect incidents. Zero outages as AI diagnoses, addresses, and provides relief before customers start calling in with issues. And service delivery is done from demand to planning to building the service with AI all along the way. By combining knowledge with workflow, AI agents are going to help build true autonomous IT. And it's autonomy on your terms. So you can focus on what matters. so you can focus on getting work done. Now, that journey is a journey many of you in the audience will be familiar with. A lot of the processes you had started as human-initiated processes, and you digitized those, many starting with service management. And from that, you built knowledge. You established the CMDB and the service graph, and you started digitizing operations and asset and portfolio management use cases. And so today, with that knowledge and those workflows, we have AI agents that can take those and start driving true autonomy. And I'm really excited because as of today, you have AI agents available in every ServiceNow IT product. And we've got customers like USI that already have some of these AI agents in production and are finding 30% savings in tasks such as research. So this is all real. And I'm going to show you an area where we actually have some of these AI agents at work today. This is our incident resolver and recommender agents that are working. And here you see somebody who's escalating an issue where they're not getting those email notifications. So if we take a look, you can see that the AI agents are not only providing the recommended steps, but with the agent in the loop, they can actually go take those steps and actually drive resolution. And that's something that you can do today with ServiceNow. But what I'm really excited about is some of the stuff that we have coming out later this year. And so if we take a look here at Nido, an employee who's having application issues intermittently on his laptop, and all Nido wants to do is he wants to pick up the phone, wants to talk to someone, and he wants to get it resolved. And with Now Assist for Voice, he can do just that. So let's listen in.
Hi, Nido. How can I help you today?
My apps keep freezing. Can you help me?
Got it. One moment. I've captured your issue and we're on it.
So now, AI not only transcribes the issue, but it knows Nido, it knows his Lenovo laptop, it puts all that information and makes it available, right, for the service desk agent. So when they come in, they have all that available, and they know. And so now, when that service desk agent runs a diagnostic, with our digital end user experience, the AI agents can go right to the laptop, diagnose the issue, understand what's happening, propose recommended fixes, and as you saw in the last demo, take those steps and fix Nido's issue, providing relief and giving time back to that service desk agent. But the real magic comes next. Because with our learning enhanced playbooks, those AI agents now recommend those steps and recommend creating a dynamic playbook. So now, as that playbook is created, when Nido's coworkers call in with the same issue, they can get true self-service as those AI agents will go to work and solve it just in the same way they did for Nido. And that is the power of autonomous IT. And that is coming to everybody here this year. So hopefully you see how excited we are. This is a world that is being created with AI, data, and workflows.
Was that what you were looking for?
Similarly, we are putting AI to work for security. And I'll let you in on the best kept secret at ServiceNow. We are the workflow leader in security. Recently this year, IDC named us as #1 in the security orchestration market, in the workflow market for security. We are in a third of the largest companies in the world, and many of you know, whether it's security workflows, risk governance workflows, we're helping leading companies drive those workflows across the ecosystem. And we do that very similar to how John talked about a little earlier. We bring insight with data and workflows. We drive those insights in cyber risk, understanding what's happening, combined with the CMDB and the service graph, bringing in data from all your security providers, whether it's Cisco, Wiz, Palo. We combine all that, and then we drive those workflows. And the flow for that is very similar to what we're doing in IT. We take workflow, we combine it with the knowledge of your technology estate, and as of this week, we have AI agents in our security and risk products. So this stuff is all available now today for you. And very similar to what we're doing on the IT side, when that SOC needs a team of AI agents to help, they go right at work. And so if we take a look, what you see is in that security operations center, not only can we propose remediation steps around a security incident, but those AI agents can actually go take action. They can pull a phishing email out of an inbox. They can put a firewall block in place as necessary, providing that relief, helping those security teams in the InfoSec. And they go all the way through to that post-incident review, taking the drudgery and time out of those multi-hour reviews down to seconds by creating that automatically. We have a ton of innovation that we're working on across security and IT. And I showed you just a few of the AI agents that we have available this year. So much more is coming. So hopefully you join me in this excitement as we work together and we lead into this autonomous future. So with that, I want to thank you, and I want to welcome to the stage Terrence to talk about CRM.
Oh, good old Terrence.
Terrence!
Yeah, you video bombed us.
Thank you so much, Popup. Good morning, everyone. And I'm
Well, since you said I was there, I felt like I needed to make an appearance.
And how the transformation and disruption in
We call
CRM
him the
is
smoothest
only
guy
going
in
to accelerate.
CRM. He's just
Let me start by recapping what ServiceNow CRM is all about. We are focused on helping you deliver exceptional service and sales experiences.
It is
to
really
your
interesting, all the partnerships they're
So
announcing
we've been
around
talking about CRM
contact center
for
integration.
decades in
You
digital
know, I
transformation.
mean, they talked about
for
NICE
years.
yesterday. Obviously,
We
they've had
expected it
Genesis
to
for a while.
revolutionize customer
Yes.
experience and
Yes.
drive massive gains in
Even the
productivity,
Zoom one.
reduce
Yeah.
costs, and make it all better.
But it's still
it didn't happen.
this.
Why is it?
Well,
Why is
it'll
it
be
after
interesting to see
spending
how
literally
their
billions of dollars a
messaging
year,
and
we are
their
not in a better place?
actions
And AI has
move
only
forward when
compounded
they
this
go,
problem,
this year
causing
through the
expectations
CRM
to rise
kind of
exponentially.
metamorphosis they're going through.
It
Yeah.
all starts with understanding where the real pain points are in delivering great customer experiences. For over a decade, legacy CRM promised us that with a 360 view and omni-channel communications, magic would occur. But it didn't work. And that's because while 360 and omni-channel is great, it's only half the story. The other half is how you solve the real pain points in customer expectations. That's true whether it's in service or sales. For example, in customer service, you need more than just great omni-channel intake. You need to also orchestrate and automate the hard part, which is resolution and fulfillment. Whether it's a dispute in banking, ordering a telco service, or processing a warranty claim in manufacturing. These are all examples of work that starts in the front office but flows through the middle and back across systems and departments, requiring both a system of record and a system of action. And that work always involves a series of tasks, which we drive with workflow, automations, and great experiences. And we take that same approach for sales. Fundamentally, we make it easier for you to model the products and services that you sell and the requests that your customers are entitled to. And that is at the heart of what everyone cares about in CRM. So we use that approach, plus leverage AI, plus data, plus workflows to drive exceptional, great customer and employee experiences across every aspect of CRM, whether it's for selling, fulfilling, or servicing. And this driven approach has been
They're gonna have to figure out marketing at some point.
We are recognized by industry analysts
Although I
as a
saw
leader
on
in CRM.
the expert
And we're
floor
seeing it
yesterday,
in the
there was a
numbers.
customer presentation that was
fastest
talking
growing
about
product
marketing
at scale.
workflows. So customers
And
are
leading
doing it.
contact center providers
So the
like
customers are
Genesis
doing that to actually
and
answer. We
Five9
need to
and Amazon. And as
piggyback
of
from the
this week,
customers.
NICE
Lift that up, yeah.
and Zoom and even 3C Logic are partnering with us to make it faster
Gotta go
and
see the
easier for
3C
customers
Logic
to
guys
deploy
today. They're down in
unified
the
customer
execution
service
hall.
experiences with turnkey integrations. But most of all, important of all, our customers are seeing dramatic results. Now I want to switch gears for a second and talk about how we are accelerating into the sales part of CRM. Last year, we introduced sales and order management And we were focused on primarily the order to cash process, including
I
exceptions.
guess the logic
and the
announcement
service to
gets
sales process,
gets
including
mentioned here.
renewals
Yes.
and expansions. And we had a very fast start, selling double the number of customers we expected in just the first 9 months. And with that momentous, customers asked us to solve another part of the process, configure, price, quote, or CPQ. Now, CPQ is where the rubber meets the road in the sales process. It's where a customer need is made tangible with an offer through a quote. Now, quotes can be a little tricky. There's compatibility rules, bundling rules, pricing rules, and even discount rules. And this process today is broken because the systems we use are slow, kludgy, and hard to maintain because they're built on old, tired technology stacks. They're hard to set up, confusing to use, rigid to configure, and slow for end users. This makes it bad for sales, worse for partners, and a non-starter for e-commerce. And everyone wants a self-service experience. Whether you're configuring a custom golf cart or building complex products like a business telecom service, data center flash storage arrays, or a power generation diesel engine, CPQ needs to be simple, speed of thought fast, delivering great customer experience. And we were fortunate to have had the foresight to get to know and invest in a ServiceNow partner whose sole mission was to solve this complexity. So we were extremely proud and excited to announce back in April our intent to acquire Logic to close later this year.
I'll be getting a little bit more information on that a little later
See
today.
this as an incredible better together story, combining the power of Logic's lightning fast configuration engine and ServiceNow's ability to drive end-to-end sell, fulfill, and service on a unified platform will provide differentiated value to you in serving your customers. And that is how you transform your customer's experience with a unified platform with ServiceNow CRM. Better than listen to me, I'll ask you to listen to this customer who's already getting great value from the combination of Logic AI and ServiceNow CRM. Let's roll the video and you'll hear from Josh Kahn about business operations.
Industries around the world trust Pure Storage to store and protect their mission-critical data. That level of trust requires total customer obsession. Meet Paolo Juvara.
Customer obsession means putting the needs and the experience of our customers at the forefront of everything that we do.
Meet Colin Mead.
Customer has a problem, how do we get them back to zero and then above that? At Pure Storage, the number one metric is our NPS score.
Our
Keynote
NPS score
yesterday.
is 82%.
He was.
82% is almost unheard of in the technology industry.
That's what you get when customer obsession shapes every experience.
Whether that experience is interacting with our sales organization or our support organization, leveraging ServiceNow, we're going to be able to take that experience to the next level.
This is CRM for the AI era, where service and sales work together.
The modern CRM solution is the ability to connect all of the people in different functions, all the systems behind those functions into a single coherent platform.
Which we could never do before without extreme cost and extreme complexity.
Probably Salesforce did
CPQ solution
do that
allows us
CRM
to
for
really
the AI
design
era.
a very tailored and
kind of a
custom-made experience for our customers
point for
that will really
2025.
empower them to identify and configure the product that best suits their needs.
Okay, so you're serious about
That
CRM.
this is their
We're not
opportunity
going to
to
miss around when
kind
it
of get
comes to
some
CRM.
What does that look
mind
like in
share
action?
Before we moved to the platform,
Yeah.
resolution time was about 26 days. We're now down to 5 days. Our response time has gone down from 26 minutes down to about 4 minutes. We've been able to get rid of 13 different software platforms that we were bolting onto our previous system. We were able to get rid of those overnight.
Impressive. So what's next?
AI plays a critical role for us. We're going to be able to deliver a much higher degree of automation and simplicity. And that means a faster pace of business and a higher degree of growth for everybody.
It seems like all their video stuff so far has been getting some pretty significant applause.
So earlier
this year, we
Oh, usually
created
here
core
it's-
business workflows
Mhm.
by combining employee workflows with finance and supply chain workflows. And we did that because the people in these departments have similar goals and similar challenges. Across HR, procurement, finance, facilities, legal, and supply chain, they really do three things. One is respond to employee requests, sometimes requests from suppliers too. Two, they do a ton of manual work. And that manual work is just in preparation to do the high value work that the organization really needs them to do and that they love to do. Now, each of these departments has built a very siloed tech stack designed to serve their specific departmental needs. It involves a system of record or sometimes multiple instances of that, and a lot of point tools to fill out the functionality that the system of record doesn't have. I talked to one Fortune 100 company that had 60 different apps to power finance, and only 6 of them came from their system of record. That same company in HR has an HCM and 33 other data systems and applications to complete the functionality. Now, as a result of this, employees don't really know where to go. If they're having a problem with their paycheck, they have to figure out, do I email Ask HR or Ask Finance? And the people in these departments spend a ton of time going between systems from left to right, stitching data together and trying to conduct an end-to-end process. So today, I'm excited to announce the ServiceNow Core Business Suite. Finally, a way to bring all of your employees, suppliers, and systems together in
closer
one
to ERP.
single suite.
Good.
It starts with our enterprise case management and service management. So employees and suppliers have one portal to go to. And in that portal, they're going to be able to search for information, get their policies and knowledge base articles summarized for them. They're going to be able to get their requests resolved in an automated way, or if it can't be automated, the case will be resolved faster than ever. By putting this all together, organizations are staffing these employee requests with fewer people. They're driving up employee productivity, and they're driving up employee engagement. We're also providing end-to-end workflows for each of these departments. And those workflows are driving transformation within the department, providing AI agents to liberate the workers in these departments, allowing them to do the work that they truly love and that the organization truly needs. So let's talk about that. In the procurement department, there's category managers and sourcing managers. Their job is to drive savings on the spend year over year. To do that job, they have to go into the contract system and look at their contracts. They have to go to the supplier performance system, look at how the suppliers are performing. They actually, in many cases, go into either the finance system or the procurement system, extract the spend, put it in a spreadsheet, and categorize it so they know where they're spending money. That's soul-crushing work, and it's not what they show up in the office every day loving to do. We're going to do that with AI agents. We're going to let those category managers come in the morning, see all that work done for them, and start doing what they love to do, negotiating with suppliers and finding new suppliers to drive down spend. In HR, there's a similar process. It's called succession planning, where HR business partners look at executive ranks and they say, how would we carry on as a company if this executive wasn't here anymore? To do that, a lot of that information is in the HCM, but so much of it is in the 33 other systems I told you about in that department. So an HR business partner has to manually bring all that data together, look at LinkedIn for external candidates. Our agents do that for them. So when they show up, they start working right away on what that succession plan execution is. By doing this, these knowledge workers are liberated. They're delivering more value than ever for the company. Now, a lot of customers are doing many different things with our product. With our best-in-class case and knowledge management, Standard Chartered is delivering an 85% deflection rate with their HR help desk. And with Now Assist, companies like Rivian and Bayer and Lloyds Banking and Dropbox and so many more are accelerating those deflection rates. We're driving transformation with our customers in the departments they work in. Pepsi was able to deliver a $5 million savings by consolidating.
Interesting timing that Salesforce did an announcement around its HR service.
They're now organizing these groups into one department called Global Business Services with a leader at the top whose single purpose is to optimize these functions and drive down cost for the organization. Siemens has organized into Global Business Services and saved over 1 million hours in that process. And now with the ServiceNow Core Business Suite, everyone in this audience and everyone online can deliver the exact same results for your organization. I cannot wait to be back here at Knowledge next year and hear what you've all done. Thank you.
How many people did they say were here?
25,000.
Please welcome back Amit Zavery and Ritu Jyoti
You know what?
to the
So far,
stage.
I really appreciate the pace of this keynote so far. It doesn't seem like it's dragging. Everything seems to be moving pretty quickly, crisply. Good demos, good speakers.
I would have loved to have heard more,
We just
hear
heard
more
from
about
our amazing
supply chain.
product leaders about all the innovations we're bringing to you in our products and the roadmap we have for you.
I was just glad to see Terrence
To make it somewhat
represent
more
CRM
real, I
there.
wanted to have Ritu join
Agreed.
us from IDC, one of
Agreed.
the top analysts, to talk about what she's seeing from market trends, the customers she speaks to, as well as advice she would have in terms of when you're thinking of business transformation, what you should be thinking about as well. So Ritu, first, thank you for joining us. And I know you flew from another conference to make it here, so I really appreciate that and for you taking the time.
Thank you, Amit. It's a pleasure. I am extremely passionate about technological innovations that
No,
drive
I didn't see.
transformation
Do you know her?
in the industry.
I met her last
And
night.
you guys are doing some
Oh,
fantastic job, so I couldn't escape the fun.
Great. No, thank you for taking the time and being here. So I know you speak to 100+ customers a month, and a lot of them are all talking about agentic AI. You've been hearing a lot of those conversations. What are you telling them? How are you approaching that conversation?
Yeah, it's a very interesting point because when GenAI happened, a lot of the organizations were scrambling to figure out what the heck is it. And now, when agentic AI, I was pleasantly surprised the number of inquiries that I have done in Q3 and Q4 of 2024, where organizations are trying to be proactive. They're trying to figure out, they're looking at it as a strategic, imperative for their company, and they're trying to figure out how should they prepare for this transformation. So I always tell them that, you really cannot sit on the aisles and watch this happen. The pace of innovation is really, really dramatic, and it's unprecedented. They need to partner with a trusted technology provider who can walk them through this journey. And speed and precision, scale, openness, because this is a strategic imperative. So they can't be just boiling the ocean. Just focus on the right set of use cases, focus on those priorities.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I think that as thinking of strategic partners, they're hearing in this messages from so many different vendors. Everybody talks about AI, agents, agentic.
Yeah.
How do you tell them to kind of look at differences? How should they make decisions like that?
Yeah, it's not an easy decision because there's so much confusion. So the first thing that I tell them is that they first need to figure out what are the fundamentals of agentic AI. There's a lot of confusion in the industry as to what is agentic AI and Gen AI. If you see, Gen AI was all about operational efficiency and productivity gains, and people were trying to, if there's a software engineer working in it, he or she would actually get some benefit. But agentic AI is focused on innovation in terms of taking the step to the next level. If there is an autonomous software engineer who can guide them actually and do things, if there is a higher level task given to them in terms of doing what exactly needs to be done to do a company-wide operations and logistics, it can reason, it can plan, it can do. So there's a concept of a human plus digital labor that no human-only workforce can ever match. So they need to look into the high-value use cases. They need to look, you don't hire a CEO of a company and put that to work on a data entry job. So it's not about taking, agentic AI technology and start using it where RPA would be a better fit. So I always tell them, look for greenfield opportunities, look for platforms that are AI native, that can give you the speed, the native, scale. It can actually interact with the ecosystem and help you achieve those business outcomes that you're striving for.
No, that makes perfect sense. As ServiceNow, we are very focused on putting AI for people to work, people for work, right?
Yeah.
So with agentic AI capable of making decisions
Yeah.
and taking actions independently,
Yeah.
how do you ensure alignment with human intent and the values it generates?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of fear or a paranoia. So you will not be surprised to hear that most of the organizations tell us that this is not just about technology. Technology can help them kind of get there in terms of what they're trying to achieve, but it's also about the business objectives and change management. Organizations need to bring together their people definition and people reorganization strategy. What will be the human machine collaboration? So, and from a tools and technology perspective, what is critical to kind of embrace is that be proactive in the risk management. The degree of autonomy will increase with the trust, the technology and policy maturity. So we tell them that basically look for embracing the tools, the AI governance platforms, look into the AI ready data, look into how you can actually be transparent in how the agents made the decisions, make sure that you are complying to all the regulatory requirements, make sure you have the accountability, not to fire people, but if God forbid, if something goes wrong, then you have the real-time audit trails that can help you make the right decisions. So proactive risk management, embracing this is fundamental, but more important than that is to build this whole transformation. It is not a status quo. Think about dynamic agility and speed, and for that you need the AI native tools and platforms.
You had a front row seat to help show companies how they adopt AI.
Yeah.
How do you know that they've got it right, and what does it look like?
It's very interesting. Like the early days, I used to see that the company was very fragmented. There was no concept of bringing the things together. People were talking in silos about AI strategy. AI strategy cannot exist in silo with
I
your
have to
company
say,
corporate-wide strategy. You need to focus what your corporate
the
KPIs,
pace
the
of this was
requirements
going
are,
pretty
and
good.
then make sure that you put the right set of
I'm not
technology in the
saying
right place. So it
what
was
she's
fundamental.
talking about
Those
isn't important, but
organizations that we work
as
in,
part of a
top
keynote, it
down
kind of
as
feels
well
a
as
little,
bottoms up, they are
it feels a
much
little
more
different than all the other
they are
things that were going.
proactively thinking about the human agent ratio.
Yeah.
They have an understanding that AI is not an AI washing game going on. Those are the companies that are really, really at the forefront, where there's a lot more collaboration. There's no strict hierarchies. They're working together. They're working with the ecosystem of the partners. That's what is moving the needle for them.
So you can definitely figure out how you can get it right and get this thing done.
The kind of questions, the proactiveness they are trying of embracing agentic AI is no longer just a nice to have. People are using it. They are using it varied levels of autonomy, being cognizant of the risk. They are mindful of the risk. A very interesting example that comes to my mind is that when Gen AI happened, there was a pharmaceutical company that was using it for creating, protein molecules. And now, when agentic AI happened, they are dealing in the chemical synthesis process, how you could decide when is the right time to switch the solvent. So they are kind of proactively thinking where this technology can help them versus just having this technology for force fitting. There were companies who were focused on just productivity gains. This is not about productivity gains only. Yes, you'll get that, but this is beyond that. This is about the speed, the precision, reinventing your business model. How do you create value? How do you deliver value and capture value is going to be changed forever.
Well, it's very, very true. I mean, we talked about AstraZeneca yesterday, and we have a lot of great examples like that, where a lot of innovation is happening, or huge transformation, and AI is used for a lot more things than we would have even started with, right? So
absolutely.
Thank you, Ritu, for sharing your insights and time with us today. Next, I'm excited to hear more from Stellantis and how they are using ServiceNow to run an AI-powered business all in one place, delivering employee productivity and customer happiness. So let's roll the video, and right after that, Amy Loki will walk us through how Stellantis is bringing AI to every corner of their business. Thank you, Ritu. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Stellantis is committed to transforming the automotive experience. That's why we're all in on ServiceNow.
What does it mean to go all in?
It means we've transformed and digitized processes across the world at Stellantis.
So we're talking 14 iconic brands, hundreds of thousands of employees, 130 countries, manufacturing, supply, dealerships, customers, everything.
Exactly.
All the success of the company starts with the employee and their experience, streamlining processes, structuring the workflows through one portal.
Around the world, every employee on one portal?
Yes, it's about empowering users to do higher value tasks.
Instead of looking at 100 pages of documents, I have my answer in 2 seconds.
So this is all in.
This is all in. Because we have one platform, we can put AI solutions in place very quickly.
How quickly?
Once you introduce a product which is AI enabled, activating the benefit of AI is like snapping the finger.
Oh.
And when we do that, we get data across the enterprise.
One data model, all in one.
When you let AI examine your data and you let data flow into your models, you will discover ways of operating the business that you would not have imagined.
We have generative AI at a platform level because we want to encourage the global and widespread adoption of AI.
Wow. And 48,000 employees signed on in one day?
Yes. The measurement of success is adoption. We are enabling every single employee.
And they're all in too.
They are faster.
They're more efficient,
more satisfied,
more innovative.
They are happier.
Happy is good.
Oui.
With ServiceNow AI, we see it as a transformative partnership. It's a game changer. We're on the cusp of redefining how technology operates at Stellantis.
Having this powerful platform, when you go all in, the impact is undeniable.
When all in works, the world works.
That had a very good cost control vibe to it, right?
Hey everyone! All right, so I'm so excited we have Stellantis here today because I recently bought a new Jeep Grand Cherokee for my family trip to Tahoe this summer, and it should be delivered this month. Uh-oh, shoot, wait a sec, I spoke too soon. It looks like the delivery might be delayed. So my anxiety just spiked. That would be a big snafu in our summer vacation plans. But I bet that ServiceNow and Stellantis can solve this together with the help of AI agents to make sure my car arrives on time. So let's see how.
Let's see how with the Brohammer.
We're going to start at the source.
Hey there.
Let me tell you all about how agents are going to change your life for the better.
On time and
I know you're going to love this.
A deep research AI agent has
Remember the friction that you used to associate with being alive on this planet? Well, it's gone now.
The cost of battery cells that could
You don't have to worry about anything.
No,
by 25%.
just prompt it in and it's all good.
Recommend an alternate
So we're getting in. I think we're in the final stretch here with this keynote. Actually, I think all in all, I think I might have gotten more out of it today than I hopefully got out of it.
Ensuring that the new battery meets all of her requirements and it will arrive to the plant on time. This is
give it a talk after.
By workflow data fabric.
I think they're about wrapping
bringing
up
together
here.
data from internal and external systems.
Certainly issued some interesting press releases. I got to give them that.
This plan looks great.
Yeah, lots of news
and
came out.
Ali approves it.
Yep.
AI agents execute the work
They got
while
it done.
Ali watches, and all she has to do is confirm the delivery address. So Ali just resolved a major supply chain issue in less than a minute, making sure that everything stays on time and on budget.
Wow. Let's hope all those supply chain
all right,
fixes
so one problem solved,
actually
but now
get about a
there's
month
an
from
even
now
bigger
when all this
issue.
tariff stuff.
So Jake is the
Yeah.
network
Killing the
operations
supply chain.
manager, and he always starts his day in the service operations workspace. His observability AI agents have detected a network issue at the Jeep plant, and network transactions are dropping. This is really bad because if the plant loses network connectivity, production completely halts. So Jake asked a question first to understand how widespread this issue is. His AI agents analyze the scale of the situation and they find that the issue is isolated to network services. Based on these insights, Now Assist offers a resolution plan. Jake says yes, and he watches the agentic reasoning in real time as AI agents are diagnosing this issue. This is autonomous IT. Jake's just keeping an eye on it. So when the analysis is complete, Now Assist recommends rolling back a change to a Kubernetes container to resolve this issue. Jake approves this plan, and AI agents complete the rollback. They confirm that network performance is stabilized, and they also ensure there are no anomalies in the data from connected OT equipment. To finish up, Now Assist drafts a knowledge base article to document this fix. Jake publishes it just in case this issue happens again. Now that is teamwork. So finally, Jake just notifies the relevant teams that the issue has been resolved and disruptions to car flow operations have been mitigated. So crisis averted, car production is full speed ahead. So this means that now Jake can get to work on a few other managerial tasks that he may have been avoiding. So he switches to his beautiful employee center, and he's reminded that the deadline for quarterly growth conversations is coming up soon. And guess what? He is not ready. But he can do this in minutes. What he has to do first is collect peer feedback for all of his team members. And if you're a manager, you know how time-consuming this can be. But not anymore. With Now Assist, Jake gets it done in minutes. AI agents start by tapping into the knowledge graph, leveraging data from connected sources like Outlook and Zoom meetings to create a personalized solution. In this case, finding the primary peers
I hope they
and
don't include
collaborators for each
DMs.
of his team members.
Might not like what's going
Jake
on.
can review the results, and he adds anyone else that he wants to hear from. Next, Now Assist tees up emails for all of the peer feedback requests. And if you've had to write these one by one, you know how long it can take. But now it's so easy. So he quickly reviews these templated emails, and he can send them out in one batch with one click. Next, Now Assist helps Jake prepare guides for these really important career conversations. AI agents can pull in objectives, OKRs, and personal growth goals from Workday, creating a conversational guide, saving them into his OneDrive directory. Outlook agents that can then schedule his one-on-one meetings, staggering them over the next 2 weeks in time for the deadline. This is AI Agent Fabric at work. We're powering the orchestration of ServiceNow AI agents and Microsoft AI agents, collaborating across systems to compile information, create documents, save files, book meetings. It's a unified team of AI agents working across multiple systems, supercharging employee productivity. So now that Jake has saved hours of work, he has one last thing he wanted to do for his team. He wants to plan their annual onsite. So AI agents start with finding the most cost-effective destination based on everyone's location and availability. They book a workshop space, some supplies, even a Zoom touchscreen display. And next, they even reserve the catering, knowing everyone's dietary requirements and their favorite order. So tacos are on the menu. Now, once again, Now Assist has created a number of complex tasks across several systems, all in one streamlined experience. Everything looks great, so Jake is ready to share this plan with his team. He asks his AI agents to document an overview, and they jump on it, pulling together this document, proposed travel plans, and drafting an email to get the team fired up. So Jake clicks send, and his on-site planning is complete. All right, you guys, Jake's
Yeah, that
productivity
computer-generated
is on
email really
fire.
fired up
In
his
just
team.
a few minutes, he prevented
I know
a major
computer-generated
network outage
emails
of
always fire me up.
I love that.
prepared for quarterly
Don't you
growth
find that, Rebecca, when you get
and
one of
he
those nice
finalized
email
the plans for
templates,
a
like
great
he really
team
charges
onsite.
me
And that's an
up big
incredible
time, man.
experience
It's
for any
awesome.
employee.
Yeah.
So pretty awesome,
I
right?
definitely have some
Thank
mixed
you.
thoughts
So
on this one.
last thing we're going to do, I want to zoom out and I want to look at the big picture from an
Although I did
executive
like how she's
perspective.
showing which
So
agent
you're all
it
about to
is
meet Chris
on
Taylor,
one
the
side as we see
CDIO
what they're
of
actually doing
Stellantis,
and sort of the
and
combination of
he uses
agents working
ServiceNow to
together.
monitor all the key KPIs of his business using
This feels like there's a
ServiceNow.
bit of the
He
H
tracks
in the
everything
HR
from
is being lost. in
employee
some of this stuff.
productivity to risk and security to
But I can see why
manufacturing
HR
OT
people
to
that
car
be
flow,
excited about
which is making sure that cars are built and delivered on time from supply chain through manufacturing, through vehicle delivery, to getting to customers like me. And he can now monitor the effectiveness of his entire AI agent investment. With the AI Control Tower, Chris will monitor all of his AI agents, tracking total usage and productivity gains. He'll dig in to see the distribution of his AI agents across the entire business,
That's pretty
keeping an eye on value creation, adoption, and governance. It also surfaces actionable insights and opportunities to deliver more value with AI. So with AI plus data plus workflows, ServiceNow enables Stellantis to run an AI-powered business all in one place, delivering employee productivity and customer happiness. In fact, look at that. My Jeep is back on track to arrive in time for my vacation. So you guys, I want you to have a great knowledge. I'm off to Tahoe. And Amit, back to you. Thank you so much.
It's a good demo. I have some issues, but it's not about the demo.
Thank you, Amy. What an inspiring, powerful demo. Thank you, Chris, for being here. You saw your avatar. Now you're here in person. So thank you for joining us. Maybe to get started, why don't you share more about Stellantis, your role there,
Sure.
and give us everybody an idea of all the things you guys are doing there.
So I'm the group CDIO of Stellantis. Stellantis was formed in 2021. We are 14 global brands. Some of them you actually probably know: Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Chrysler, plus Peugeot, Fiat, etc. So we're 270,000 people. We have operations in 30 countries. We sell in 130. And a fast fact, many of our plants build a car every 45 seconds. That is the scale and the velocity of Stellantis. And that's why productivity and speed really matters for us.
Very good. I think you just saw the demo about Stellantis been fully invested in an AI platform, right? What's the
Another
most
car was built
transformative
just in him
outcome
talking
so
about it.
far for you all?
Yeah.
And what are the teams and your customers are seeing from that?
Well, we went all in on the ServiceNow platform. And one of the reasons we want to do that is the automotive industry is an incredibly connected business. We connect dealers to finance, to quality, to engineering, to IT. Everything is interconnected. And in a world like that, we want them to interoperate. We want to deal with multiple languages. Speed in the customer is essential. So one of the big changes we've made is we started to connect our dealers and how they identify faults, calibrate faults, and repair them. Because at the end of the day, you don't go to a dealer to get your car fixed. The last thing you want to do is like calling a call center. You actually want it done as seamlessly and smooth as possible. So we're empowering our dealers to be able to find resolution faults, engage with us, find the fastest way and the cheapest way to solve the customer's fault and the customer's car fault and get it back up running.
And putting AI to work for people has been a core theme this week. We saw some of the announcements we've been making there. How are you thinking of AI agents to empower your teams, and how will they impact your car flow?
Because we've come from 14 brands, we've had to do a lot of investment in converging those digital processes. That is an opportunity for us, because as we've been converging to single processes worldwide, we see the opportunity to remove a step, change a step, automate a decision, or augment a decision with AI. We're using it literally everywhere. And we were one of the first people that when we bought the ServiceNow platform, we had AI at a foundational level. And we did that choicefully because actually we wanted to encourage the adoption across the organization, not just specific groups of people.
Right, and as you invest
I'm not sure choicefully is the word.
I wasn't
gonna need to check that one.
Seeing a lot of new interesting roadmap evolve as well?
I wasn't going to say anything. Leave it to the bro hammer to come in.
Sorry, man. I'm a little bit of a stickler for made-up words during keynotes, but
Use it, adopt it, create tangible
I think he
value,
chose it
less of a
choicefully.
threat, more
I
of a
think
way
he
to
did.
enhance their productivity and enhance their job
hey, he's creating value, so
And so,
that's the
it's
most
taking
important
off
thing.
at Stellantis. We use it in so many places. I'll give you an example. In Europe, 85% of our cars are scheduled and loaded onto transporters using AI. It's faster, we connect to the customer needs, and we get higher quality. So, places like that, we are really transforming across the board.
Very good. Thank you, Chris. We are incredibly proud to be your partner as you do the business transformation at Stellantis. So thank you again for joining us. And
Wow, Chris didn't get much time.
That sounded like a rush meeting, actually.
All right.
Yeah, Chris is good to go.
All right. So at ServiceNow,
Wow.
our mission is crystal clear. We are to deliver cutting-edge innovation and embed AI in every part of business. The ServiceNow AI platform seamlessly unites AI, data, and
Interesting because
workflows within
ServiceNow
the
is really
enterprise-based
pushing
platform
on
you
this
already trust
all
and
in
count on
across the
every day.
enterprise approach
Great
rather
technology
than
alone isn't
maybe
enough.
take a small
Real
pilot
business transformation happens when
and build from
groundbreaking
there.
technology meets deep customer commitment
So
and
instead of
trusted
asking
partnerships.
customers to make a bigger
And that's
bet
why
out of
we
the
build an
gate
extraordinary ecosystem of
on the
world-class
platform
partners
than
like
what some other
Deloitte,
folks are doing.
Accenture, and Cognizant.
Take their
To
seeds
give you
on some of their
unparalleled
momentum.
choice, flexibility, and control as you navigate your agentic AI journey. We know you can't adopt everything immediately, but you can count on us to be ready when you are ready. We continue to make sure that all the products keep improving and you keep getting value from all your existing investments in ServiceNow platform. Everything we build at ServiceNow is rooted in our gratitude for you. And we measure our success by the impact we help you achieve. So let me close by saying thank you for your trust, your partnership, and your incredible stories of innovation. Now, let's not just talk about the future, let's create it. Let's put AI to work for your people and deliver outcomes that reshape your business together. Thank you for making my first Knowledge event memorable, and have a wonderful rest of the event. And thank you all for joining us.
All right. I think we made it through the second keynote. Anybody want to give your impressions? I don't know how much you saw this time, but
I saw a good chunk of it. I read a bunch of the press releases too.
all right.
But I'd like to hear from Rebecca first.
We always like to hear.
Well, I'm glad that we saw examples kind of across the portfolio. I do think, though, that for this IT audience, we need to be talking more about personally what's in it for them and why they would want to automate this stuff and what the opportunity is for them beyond the sort of you'll have time to do other things message. Talking more about like what are the other skills that you could be picking up right now that will make you more valuable to your organization. Some sort of a more personalized message for the IT teams in the audience, I think would be some thought leadership that ServiceNow could do here.
Yeah, I like that because I think the sort of like free up your time for strategic stuff pitch works a lot better for business users who can kind of imagine what that would look like more time with client relationships and stuff like that.
Right.
But on the development side, you kind of think like, well, maybe that's going to be me getting the old pink slip while you automate me out of existence. And so I think you really need to think about how those jobs are going to change, because I can think of all kinds of ways that a good developer could harness some of this technology in service of the business. And you hear the forward-thinking CIOs talk about this all the time, right? Serving different, being servant to the business kind of concepts and, embedding technical folks into different areas of the business and all of that. And so there could be a really nice crossover there for certain people. But like you said, I think they need to kind of hear that so they know that they're not just going to get mechanized.
Yeah, and Brent and I were talking about this before you came on, John. With ServiceNow University, they have this really cool experience that they're doing down on the floor here, where it looks at your LinkedIn profile, kind of updates your skills, lets you see what the job opportunities are of the future that are adjacent to what you have now, and maps out like a personalized learning for here are the things you could be learning now if you want to go in this direction or this direction, which I thought was a clever way to do it. But you have to know that exists, right? So I think pointing their customer base, particularly this audience, in that direction and giving them a little bit of inspiration there could have been powerful.
I'd be scared to use that tool on myself, actually. Be like, you have no relevant jobs except the one you have. Good luck. Hope it works out.
Yeah, I like I said, I think I enjoyed today a little bit more. Maybe because we saw a little bit more, some really good demos, some really good videos, some good conversations, some good presentations. And a lot of the stuff it looks legit. It looks good. But the thing, particularly the one around the kind of the HR side, I can see why people that have to put together those employee, whatever they call those reports, where the annual grading of the
Performance reviews, yeah.
Performance. I can see, especially at a company like that where you have 270,000 people. I know that's a lot of work. So being able to put all that stuff together with using agents, it makes a lot of sense. The only thing that kind of made me feel uncomfortable, and it's not a ServiceNow thing, it's just with this agentic stuff. It almost felt like you didn't even have to know these employees to be able to give that kind of review, because you're just reading data point, and it just feels like the propensity for folks to just rely on data points and not on really, any kind of a real relation or human relation or interaction to get a better sense of things. I think there's more than just the numbers. And I have a strong feeling like there's a lot of companies are going to use that kind of approach to let people go, because they have numbers behind it. I don't know if that's a legit fear or if that's just me being very cynical, but it felt like using these agents make a lot of sense. It makes a ton of sense. You get more efficient, you get more data, but there's something to be said about the human in this that goes beyond just data and workflows. And I feel like there's an opportunity that we may be setting up a lot of people to be let go without really much thought.
So I've talked a lot about AI as an accelerator, and I think that applies a lot to what you're saying in the sense that if you have a company that really is thoughtful about supporting its people in its transitions, then these tools can really help, I think, to do an even better job of that and not get caught up in HR administrivia. But like you're saying, if you're more interested in really operational efficiency and in having more air cover for headcount reductions and stuff like that, well, these tools can accelerate that also. And
Yeah.
that's one reason why I've really pushed vendors to try to highlight customers that are using this in ways that enhance the well-being of their employees and customers, and to invest in education around that. And vendors push back a little bit because they don't want to be held legally responsible for companies that misuse their tools. And I totally understand that point. But I do think it's important to step into the fray a little bit, like you're saying, Brent, because you need to kind of highlight that this is not like giving someone a hammer. This is like giving someone like a jackhammer on steroids, you know? And to pretend that that's always going to be used in good ways, I think is really, and I'm not saying ServiceNow is doing this, but in general, I think that's the risk. It would be kind of naive to say, here's your jackhammer, have fun. You know, you don't really need a owner's manual because it all works great, you know?
One of the things I liked about yesterday, and I don't know if you saw this, was the announcement around ServiceNow and NVIDIA working together on this reason thing, being able to take all sorts of structured, unstructured data, bring it in, and be able to actually have agentic reasoning. I don't know what you guys think of that, but I thought it was really interesting.
Well, AI is going to get smarter the more like targeted, focused data you can train it with and bring into the picture. But there are also limits to how smart this generation of AI can become. And that's the part that vendors don't want to talk about. I'll get back to that in a sec. But in general, the other things about that NVIDIA announcement that were really interesting had to do with things like working on streamlining inference costs and stuff like this to make this technology more affordable. And I think that's also a really smart move and takes its cues from some of the DeepSeek disruptions around, yeah, maybe we can rethink some of these infrastructure things. And for a company like NVIDIA, you're like, well, why would you want to make everything cheaper? And I think the goal is, yeah, it might be a little cheaper, but then it's going to proliferate more. And so more companies are going to be able to buy it. You know, I don't know. I mean, my perception so far, and y'all are on the ground, so you can tell me, I have some nitpicks around what I saw, particularly today, but I do like the ambition of what ServiceNow is trying to do. Because, you know, for the longest time, ServiceNow has been kind of trying to say, enterprise software is too hard to work with. Just use us. And we'll kind of be your portal into all of that, right? And I feel like the way they're approaching agents and the stuff they announced around this sort of what were they calling it, the core business suite, which isn't totally a suite at this time. It's more like focusing in on automating case management, but it's all about like you can get up and running quickly with us. And the complexities of all the systems you're running are going to be there underneath, but you're not going to have to worry about that anymore. I think that's a really, really appealing message for business users. And if they can deliver on that, I think that's why they continue to be that unicorn that Paul is talking about. And so I think that's what they have going for them. But then I do have some nitpicks. But that was the impression I got from afar, is that the agentic world kind of plays to their strengths in terms of you can just kind of use us and get stuff done and whatever else you might happen to be running isn't so important. And for the other vendors that are underneath the ServiceNow layer or being accessed through ServiceNow, that's not really good news for them if that transpires, right? Because now they've lost a lot of the strategic relationships, and now they essentially are just being accessed through ServiceNow, where ServiceNow has the strategic relationships. If they can achieve that, that's pretty potent. I don't know if they can, but it's an interesting thing that if I were a vendor being accessed by that technology, I wouldn't be very happy.
Well, and the other thing too is if I'm a vendor being accessed through the technology and the user never sees the user interface, what am I doing spending money on UX development?
Right.
Right. And if I'm not spending on UX development and really all I have is a database and workflows, then as a customer, why am I not looking at, can I just swap this out to an open source database, use the ServiceNow workflow, and forget the vendor functionality, right?
Now, it's fair to say that the vendors that you're talking about are making their own case for why you can interact directly with them in similar ways, often using agentic technology,
right?
And that they can provide better value by providing better data from their systems and better workflows. So in other words, like ServiceNow can pull certain things out of ERP systems, but the ERP vendors are going to say, well, you can't really do this in a way that really has this so-called semantic context that shows all the relationships in this process and how it works. And so there's going to be fisticuffs around that, and it's going to be difficult for customers to understand who's right. And that's the challenge, because when you listen to these keynotes today, how could you possibly tell if they're going to do a better job of that than the vendors that they're trying to take the access away from? It's hard to say. I mean,
it's going to be, we're going from, silos of applications and silos of databases, this agent silos. Like, how do we get away from, it just seems like with the potential for just trading a siloed technology for another siloed technology is there when all of the folks are wanting to be the Lord of the Rings, basically.
Right. And so this is what's really interesting is like every vendor is showing to some extent cooperation with other agents. So ServiceNow, just offhand, I saw them talk today about Workday agents. I saw that working with Workday agents. I saw a mention of Microsoft agents.
We had UKG on stage yesterday.
UKG, right. So they're demonstrating all that agent to agent work, but it will be interesting to see how that also all transpires, because you could make the case that what's really going to be key is participating in open standards like the one that Google has developed or MCP that Anthropic has developed. So you could argue that it's going to be more important to get people involved. And I think Microsoft actually just joined Google's agent-to-agent protocol standard, which is a pretty big deal. A pretty big momentum for Google on that front that kind of came out this week. So that would be interesting too, because that puts pressure on vendors like ServiceNow to not just provide, agent to agent through their own work, but to submit to these overall open standards. Because I think in the end, that's what's going to be key is not hammering out individual integrations, but having basically these things need to be able to talk to each other, or users are going to get really, really frustrated, because all the promise of this is based on go do this stuff for me. And if it comes back and it says, well, I can't really complete this task because I can't talk to this system, or this agent won't give my agent the time of day. It was like when you used to use the dial-up internet and it was talking, but then it didn't connect, and then you didn't go online. It's exactly what that's going to be like. It's going to be like back to dial-up internet to see if these agent protocols get along, and if they don't, you're not getting your pizza, you're not getting your your email delivered or whatever it is.
Tacos,
right? Tacos. Yes, you're not getting your tacos.
Or if it was Martin Schneider, it'd be was it chitlins with peanut butter?
Interesting. Have you had that?
Hell to the no, and I never will have that. Anyway, last thoughts, Rebecca.
Again, I think there's an opportunity for ServiceNow to do more thought leadership and helping their individual champions sort of chart a path through this that doesn't sideline them.
Hammer.
I think they made a really ambitious, interesting case, and it's a lot for customers and audiences to chew on. But I think give them credit for a lot of interesting news. I mean, the news releases are fascinating. They also had an acquisition pertaining to data and AI, so they're doing a lot. I would nitpick a little bit that I think we get ahead of ourselves a lot with this technology that makes things confusing to customers. I think we covered that pretty well, but just as an example, like you have to be really careful about accuracy issues and for example, ordering everyone's food based on their specialized diets. That sounds really cool and it sounds what could go wrong. Well, if you know anyone who's fussy about their specialized diet, a whole lot can go wrong. And so I think sometimes we don't realize that some of these things that sound beautiful and wonderful when they get automated, it's like when you send someone who is allergic to some kind of food and you put it in front of them and it has their food allergy in it, that is a colossal mistake that you actually can't afford. So I think sometimes we get ahead of ourselves thinking, oh, this is just automagical. And in fact, it does have errors and those have to be contained. And that does
Automagical?
Yeah, automagical. You never heard that?
Oh,
that's like an old school like pundit thing that came up. I think it was Brian Summer making fun of Ray Wong, but I can't remember. But it was all about, are we automagical yet? Anyway,
guy,
we're not.
The nimble guy. He used to say that all the time. John.
Anyway, we're autonomous and we're magical, but we're not automagical yet. So
now
let's just
kind of magical. Now you've made one really up.
Yeah, autonomagical. Absolutely. Let's. Anyway, that's it for me.
See if that'll take off.
What about you, Brent?
All right, so I think just generally, I think they're seizing on this opportunity they think they have around, the move to agentic gives them an opportunity to talk about re-envisioning themselves as a CRM company, and I think it's a good plan. I don't know how long it'll take before people actually see them as that, because I think still a lot of people see them as an ITSM platform. And now they're, and it took them years to go from customer workflows to now they're CRM, branding themselves as CRM. I was talking to Terrence yesterday about that, and he corrected me. He said, "No, we've actually really been a CRM company. We just really didn't right or didn't message it that way, but now they are." All right, so that I think it gives them an opportunity to talk about that, because I think CRM in a AI or agentic era is markedly different than what it was traditionally supposed to be. So I think it does give them a pretty significant opportunity. They got a lot of mind share right now. I think they have an opportunity to take that and really kind of position themselves in that. And I'm just speaking mostly on the CRM stuff. But I will say I do think it's really fascinating, their relationship with NVIDIA that they started a couple of years ago before any of the other main vendors in our industry, gives them a leg up and gives them opportunities to do what they're doing with this partnership and the enhance that partnership. And NVIDIA seems to be all in on it, but considering what Jensen said yesterday. So I think they have a lot of momentum. They have a lot of opportunity. I don't think they need to try to do everything all at once, but I think there's certain things that they can really dig into. And I like that they're doing that with CRM. I know Colin Fleming coming on board really positions them to do some pretty good things in that regard. So we'll see. I as for like the last couple of days, I definitely got more. I feel like I got more out of this one than yesterday, because I think I heard a lot of things yesterday that I've heard at a lot of these different events. So going from the yesterday to today was really good, and gives me a little bit more confidence that they're swinging for the fences, and I think they're gonna at least get a triple, if not a home run. So,
but are they still a unicorn? That
we'll have to go to Paul. We got to go to the venerable Paul.
Yeah, because that's one big old horse at the moment. I would say that's not a small unicorn anymore.
Well, Colin, when we had Colin Fleming on, I guess that was beginning of the year. He basically said, "Hey, they brought me here to make them a $20 billion business, and they're up to 12 already. So they're on their way.
If they're a unicorn, I'm running from that horn, man. That's one heck of a horn.
That's one hell of a horn. All right, anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that's the last of the keynote. So this is going to the last time we're doing anything here. Thanks. We got a lot of good feedback. We got some people. We got a really good email. I know, Rebecca, you were copied on that from Ian how do you say his last name?
Gotts.
Gotts, yeah. And then, like I mentioned earlier, Genesis with Jack Nichols, he actually said they were taking notes. They were taking some things. So you never know who watches this stuff. It's really kind of cool to actually know there's people watching and paying attention. So
Yeah.
all right. So on behalf of the Brohammer, John Reed, that is, and Rebecca Wetterman, no Patrick picks yes yet, but we'll get to that later today. I'm Brent Leary, and there will be no CRM players tomorrow. So I will see you next week. Later.
Bye everyone.